As it fades in, the place is inside Temple of Rolar during the evening time. High Priestess is meditating, as the scene shows, while staring into the flames of the Lord of Light fire pot. Then it dissolves to the High Priest of First Secret Society of Fire and Blood enters the temple's fire sanctuary. The High Priest clears his throat to get the attention of the High Priestess. Damien, dressed in a long black robe, trimmed in red and gold, with hoodie attached over his head, carrying a long sorcerer's staff. You summoned me. Yes, do come in. Kinvara turns around as Damien steps forward, and she looks him over with her eyes. So you summoned me here for what reason? Because I have found something strange that I saw as I walked outside doing my usual duties for Rolar, the Lord of Light. And what does that have to do with me? You and I don't usually associate with each other. No, but I thought you might find it very interesting that only one dragon belonging to Daenerys Targaryen showed up. Which dragon would that be? The largest black one, whom, if I remember correctly, is named Drogon. Why would one of her dragons be coming here? Daenerys always rides that dragon. Where is Daenerys then? Rumor has it, Queen Daenerys died in King's Landing while acting very rash, and was killed for her attempted liberation of the Red Keep. It was because of a death of her friend Missandei, and she was betrayed. She wasn't paying attention. Well, what else happened? Please, let's sit, and I shall tell you all about it. Damien and Kinvara then move to a table and sit down facing each other. Kinvara pours 2 cups of red wine and moves one to the High Priest Lord. Both take a sip of wine. The dragon, whom I believe was Drogon, came by, circling at first, carrying something, as if he were looking for something. I never saw a dragon act in such a ways. He lands after gently dropping a body, and I realized it was Queen Daenerys Targaryen. He uses his snout, trying to wake her or shove her to me. I thought he was going to eat her. When he laid her body on the ground before me, she had this dagger sticking out of her chest. As he continued to try and push her body towards me, I was not sure what his intentions were towards me. Then he lets out a loud roar, which frightened me for a moment. Then he flies off. Very interesting. Takes a sip of wine. Why would a dragon do that to the mother of dragons? Is she really dead? Well, as far as I can tell, she was. The dagger, however, didn't quite hit its mark, as I looked closely at the point that went under the right breast, to the right of her cleavage. Takes a sip of wine. Whoever betrayed her, if I am thinking correctly, as I looked into the flames, it would seem that someone has discovered their identity, one by the name Jon Snow. A bastard? Ah, so the bastard's eyes have been opened. Yes, but there must have been a reason why he tried to stop Queen Daenerys. In any case, he was facing a death penalty, and there is something about a 3-eyed raven taking a crown and being appointed or elected as king of realm of the 7 kingdoms. Yet he is no heir and has no royal bloodlines to the Iron Throne of Swords. His name is King Brandon Stark, who gave the Queenslayer a pardon and sent him back to the Wall, as additionally known as a kinslayer. Brandon Stark, known as Brandon the Crippled? How absurd. Sipped another swallow of wine. So what do you need me to do? It would seem that there is opportunity for you and I. She went before her time. Now, being the High Priestess of Rolar, I can't do that which Melisandre once did. The bastard, Jon Snow, only needed to merely have his hair washed, especially certain portions placed on his multiple stab wounds of potions, and a spell of resurrections, to be done by Melisandre. Then it was just a matter of waiting for Jon Snow to rise from the dead before he finally learned he, Aegon VII, of Lyanna Stark, his true mother, and Prince Rhaegar, his true father. After a while, he did wake up. But I'm thinking because Queen Daenerys Targaryen is a pureblood Targaryen, it's going to require a lot more than that. He gets up, does short paces by the table a couple of times, thinking. The only way this can be done, and you know this is forbidden. If they were to catch either one of us, I know certainly I would be burned at the stake, and, well, what do you think they would do to you? Well, then we must be wise and not stupid, and keep this between ourselves. Yeah, well, if I do this, what do I get? After all, I'm the one who is putting myself at risk. I took the liberty to having a temple of your own built for you, though you were not aware of it. As noisy as they were, I'm surprised it didn't cause you to wonder what the noise was all about. Okay, so we get a temple of our own. That means we don't have to answer to your authority anymore. Well, no. That's the way of it. Fine. Then stands up suddenly. But I here want her risen. It will take some exact, precise calculations. Since science and potions, which don't exist since the Valyrian Doom. Some were salvaged a long time ago and never used. It will be even a miracle if they even work. Puts her hands on her hips. Well, at least we could say we tried then, couldn't we? But we don't do it precisely. You think the White Walkers are bad? Imagine a dead dragon queen waking up and going hostile on all who cross her path. So what did you do with her body? I sent at first some explorers before Drogon brought Queen Daenerys' body to me, mainly because I feel though the flames, in the future, the Lord of Light, will no longer be a welcome religious phase. So, the explorers were to find any place where the Temple of Rolar, where the Lord of Light, can one day diminish into a country of our own. Those who choose to follow will be welcome with me, the Red Priestesses and the Red Priests. When they return, that is when Drogon showed up with Queen Daenerys' body. She gestures for the High Priest, Lord, to retake his seat, then seats herself. And so, after Drogon left, what did the explorers find? Well, a place that had been discovered or revealed, yet long covered by huge high snowdrifts, and from what they said, looked like an eerie gray castle. My thoughts is that when the realm banded together, with the exception of Lannister forces, to fight in the Great White Walker War, the Night King with the dead Viserion dragon, having destroyed the wall of the Night's Watch by East Watch by the sea, must have inadvertently melted a snowdrift from age upon ages of piling up during 2 long winters because of the intense heat put out by a cold blue flame of a dead dragon. The explorers translated with much difficulty a High Valyrian hieroglyphs. Beware the castle of the damned. Sips his wine and almost coughs. Oh, that's just great. You just want to make it challenging for me. Do you know anything about the Castle of the Damned? No, other than that it looks ancient, I suppose. That is not a place for the living, but a place for the dead. Long before the Valyrian Doom, there was a man who thought he wanted to be a god. He wanted to take over the throne of the Fire King and Ice Queen of the capital city of Valyria. At that time, the High Valyrians of House Valarans were the top rulers over House Targaryen, as the rulers. Since that time, he was banished for all time, not into the Seven Hells, and nowhere in the spirit world of paradise, where all good Valyrians and Targaryens go. His is a curse, and if he should ever wake up, we will have a very big problem. But then it gets even better. Sips some wine again. Queen Daenerys is even going to be upset, as I am sure she is in the spirit world with Khal Drogo. You think she is just merely going to wake up without having something to say about it? I'm sure she will want to kill something, or someone. Well, you do living sacrifices, don't you? That is precisely why it is forbidden. We're no longer allowed, since the Valyrian Doom, to practice such sorcery with living sacrifices. Yes, well, didn't you once say, when I had given you instructions to forming this first ever Fire and Blood Society, that there was one who kept annoying you because he wants to join you? Yes, there is. He lifts his eyebrows for a brief moment, with a sudden thought. Oh, yeah, I think I know of someone. In fact, I know of the person. Good. With those spell seances and those potions you have, not to mention the spells from the ancient book you have, what is the problem? None for me, but as I said, if the potions are not done precisely, in exact measure, and in exact steps, and should anyone find out about this, we're both doomed. Then we have to worry about a living dead queen wandering about killing everyone. Well, you better make sure you get done that which needs to be done, and get it right. Meantime, I sent some of my red priests, after we placed her body in a sarcophagus, with ice to preserve her, and had the sarcophagus shipped to this castle of the damned, so no one would molest her or disturb her. That was about 3 years ago of our current AC time, for Aegon the Conqueror. And she is not decomposed as of now? No. You see, unlike most of Targaryen history, she does not show her age as fast as others of the past. She might have a slight age difference, but none that would be that noticeable. Furthermore, because she not once but twice survived fire and earned the name the Unburnt, proves then that, unlike other Targaryens, she can't even be cremated. But since she is deceased, the only thing that might happen is she will wake up gray as though she looked dead and have blackened hair. I will send one of my red priestesses to do that which Melisandre once did for waking Jon Snow. The most that will happen is that her hair will return from black to that of silver blonde. Yet you have to do the rest, since Queen Daenerys is a pure-blood Targaryen. Very well. Is there anything else I should know about? You will find the sarcophagus on the other side of the dead altars table, where bodies were once sacrificed, or, as you said, a place for the dead of those who committed the worst crimes before the Valyrian doom, and you will have to remove her body and place it on the altar table. Takes a sip of wine. No need to remove her clothes, as that has been done already, to make sure she is fully undressed for the ritual to be completed. Then you should have no problem in doing that which needs to be done. Fine. Takes a sip of wine. Let's see if we can get some interest going here from my living sacrifice. And to see if he wants to join after all. He looks to the doorway where his assistant, Thaddeus, is waiting and calls out his name. Thaddeus! Yes! Thaddeus then enters the room, approaching the table where High Priest Lord Damien and High Priestess Kinvara are sitting. I have decided, though you have been rather annoying, to let you go ahead and join our secret society of Fire and Blood. Really? Wow, I've been really looking forward to this. Well, don't get too excited, because your mission is going to be a tough one. What mission is that? It is the... He looks over at Kinvara, who looks at Damien with a smile, then looks back at Thaddeus. It's the secret kind. You do know how to keep a secret, don't you? Then in a lower, muttering tone, he says, not that it will really matter for you. What? I said, even though it would be rather special for you. Sure, I can keep a secret. After all, we are supposed to be a part of this new secret society of Fire and Blood, right? Yes. Go tell the Priest Lord, Dark Shadows, and the Blood Lords that their presence is needed. Here's a list of things I need, and I trust you will be able to find these, pack them in a crate, and return shortly. Yes, I will let the Priest Lord, Dark Shadows, and the Blood Priest know that their presence is needed, and then I shall return shortly. Very good, then. Have one of the Blood Priests take the crate after you pack that, which is needed, of my list, to the port, and placed aboard the vessel we will be sailing on. You're dismissed. Damien and Kinvara then both watch as Thaddeus, who is happy and excited to being allowed to join, leaves out the door he entered in. Well, that went rather well. Shh! I don't want him getting suspicious now. Dark Shadow and a Blood Lord both enter in the doorway and walk up to the table where High Priest Lord, his master, sits with High Priestess Kinvara. You summoned us, my lord. We have a special mission. Bring Queen Daenerys Targaryen back from the dead. We are? Am I having to repeat myself? No, Damien, I just didn't know anyone wanted her back. I figured everyone was happy that she was gone. Yes, well, I want you to get the wooden box with the 3 dragon eggs that the young lad, Thaddeus, had stolen from the edge of the known world from a wild dragon. I put them in a wooden box until now. We will be needing them, and have the Bloodlords get plenty of wood and oil. Don't ask any questions, just obey. Yes, my master. And you, looking at the lead Blood Lord assistant, Thaddeus has been approved to join us, not as an apprentice mage. He has a special role to play. Poor dumb bastard. Gather together all the Blood Lords and meet me at the port, as we're sailing beyond the wall of the Night's Watch, past each watch by the sea, which is still under construction since the time of the Great White Walker War. Very well, I will obey. The other Blood Lords, Hemorrhage and Dark Shadow, bow and depart out the door they came in. Well, I hope you know what you're doing, 'cause you're having me do the dirty work. Well, it is not for me to do, and it's not my place. Yeah, huh. If all goes well, then the Dragon Queen shall return. If not, then, quoting one of your religious phrases, the night will be dark and full of terror. And he stands up with Kinvara and departs as she watches him leave through the doorway. Then fades out and prepares for episode 1.